Okay, so the craft room is clean and organized. I have a final video uploading. Who knows how long it's going to take, since I'll have spotty Wi-Fi while I'm driving. I am headed to Walla. So I had to do some mom duties tomorrow. My daughter has to drop her car off at the shop at 8:45 in the morning. 8 in the morning. And she has a doctor's appointment at 10:45 that, she's waited, 6 months to get. So, we shall be. I will be taxi for her. This is a long choo-choo train. Oh, yay! The caboose is just going through the intersection. I won't have to wait. I won't have to wait. Yeah, she called. She's like, so, what you doing on the 30th? And I'm like, why? And I had originally had a massage scheduled from 10 to 12, which would make it very hard for me to be in Walla. And I was like, well, let me. I was like, and I go, why? And she was like telling me, and I go, okay, so what you're telling me is that you need a taxi driver? And she's like, kinda. I could figure it out if you can't do it. And I'm like, it's fine. So I just have to cancel my appointment. Not that big of a deal. Unfortunately, it is Mina's week with her dad, so I won't get to see Mina on this trip. It'll just be Sis and I, and she doesn't get off work until 8 tonight. But that's okay. That is okay. Although I got her Halloween cookies in here from the 4-H meeting. I don't know if they're going to be good for another week. I might just have to take them over to her, or I don't know. But it worked out. I had to cancel my appointment for tomorrow, but my massage therapist posted on Facebook, if anybody needed some in-home massages this weekend, and I'm like, yes, please. So I booked her for the 2 hours at my house. So got my massage right there in my living room, which was totally sweet. It's very convenient, but I don't know that that I could afford to do that very often, because in the clinic I pay $75 an hour, and at home I pay $100 an hour. So I don't think I could afford to too many in-home ones, but the next 2-hour appointment she had available at the clinic wasn't until December. So I was like, okay, whatever. Just get over here and get your elbow into my back and work out some of these knots and these lumps and these, tense muscles and jacked up tendons and everything else that keeps me in pain. And now I'm just kind of in that interim, the in-between, where, my muscles were super tight and now they're semi-loose, but they're not completely loosened up just yet. able to like relax. My muscles should relax a little bit more, and I'll start feeling a lot better. Right now I'm still sore. I love my Molly, and it just I'm bummed out because I found out today that, you know, her life is changing, and unfortunately that's, you know, it's gonna take her out of my area. You know, she's been my massage therapist off and on for 12 years. And the only time it was ever off was when I'd lost track of her. You know, she was, you know, saying before, she was one of my 2 preferred massage therapists when they were in school. And then after they graduated, I followed Beth into practice. And then when Beth moved out of the area, I went on the hunt to figure out where Molly was working. And I've been with Molly ever since, you know, and it's, when it was off, it was due to money. You know, like when I first quit my job, I couldn't afford massages because we couldn't even afford to pay our damn bills. You know, but once the disability, that was one of the first things I did when my disability was approved and I got my check, was scheduled a massage. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, and I'm back, if not worse, in condition than I was the very first time I ever had a massage done, because I went so long without one that you know, all the work that had gone in and all the ground we had gained in reconditioning my muscles, it was all lost, and now we're right back at the beginning. And now it sounds like I've got about 6 months to find myself a new massage therapist. And I don't even know how to look for one. You know, it's like I'm almost tempted to just start going back to the school. It's a lot cheaper there, and they charge $35 an hour versus, you know, $60 to $100 an hour in a clinic. $150 if you do one at a spa. So, I don't know. The big downside to that is that the school is literally on the far side of Kennewick. So it's like a 30-minute drive just to get there. Am I saving gas as having to drive that far? I don't know. I'll have to do the math, because if I am, I can afford to do more than, you know, 2 a month, potentially. I don't know. The whole news was a bummer. You know, not just that she's gonna have to move, but that the medical stuff, I mean, it's not good news. So things are all kind of all over the place as far as the medical stuff goes. My sister is finally home. And she's been home for about a week now, but she's not in the hospital anymore. She's on the mend from that anyway. But now having to deal with learning how to manage and how to treat and how to live with new diagnoses. I feel you, sis. I've got another sister that also just recently got a new medical diagnosis that is not a good one. I have an aunt that is not doing well. The last of my dad's siblings. My husband hurt his shoulder. Like, not this last weekend, so last Saturday, 8 days ago, he was wrestling with the dogs on the floor, and I guess when he went to get up off the floor, he felt something in his shoulder pop, and then he hasn't really been able to lift his arm since then. He had a huge knot, like right in the little dip of your shoulder, in between like your shoulder bone and your collarbone. It was a huge knot there. I don't know if the knot's still there or not. You know, and I'm like, why don't you call and see if you can get into our doctor, and if not, you know, go into urgent care. I've got an appointment on Tuesday next week anyway, and I'm like, so what are you gonna do for this week? So he's just been icing it and heating it and taking ibuprofen for the last week, but he still can't lift his arm. So it's like, I try not to laugh because it's very similar to me trying to put pants on, you know, because I can't bend over far enough to like hold my pants at my ankles, so I have to like pick them up with my toes, get them up to my hand at my knee level, and then kind of like step into my clothes at knee level, and it's comical to watch, and I will absolutely admit that. Especially like when my toe gets caught on the waistband and flunk, yeah, and then I got to start all over again. But yeah, he's got a T-Rex arm, because he can lift it like in front of him, but he can't lift it to the side, and he can't lift it above him. So trying to get dressed, trying to get his shirts on, he's like a little T-Rex. And I'm like, and I get it, there's not any way I can help him, you know, because the arm, you know, I can hold the shirt, but he's still got to try to figure out how to get his arm in there. I can't, you know. He spent a lot of time helping me get into my clothes when I first hurt my back, and it was really bad. You know, before the ablations, before my surgery, before any kind of treatment was done for my back. You know, he was sitting down at my ankle, holding onto my clothes, you know, while I'm leaning into him and stepping into my clothing. You know, and it was just a mess, you know. That's a big reason why I've been so ambivalent about doing any kind of surgery, because surgery is going to then require that round the clock. And I'm not quite ready to have a full-time caregiver to come in and get me dressed and bathe me and, you know, wipe my butt. You know, I'm like, I'm only 52, I'm too young for this. You know, but at the same time, I'm sure my sister, she's only 62, and she's looking at the same scenario. You know, she's looking at, you know, having to have a full-time caregiver, and I'm like, damn. It's like, when we fall apart, we fall apart. This family don't mess around. I'm grateful that at least for now, you know, I'm able to sidestep that. I can still put the surgery off. I still have that option. I don't know for how long. So I was telling Molly during my massage, I'm like, I have another cyst that has formed in the knuckle I'm like, so I'm leaving this one alone until it either starts getting in my way or it starts getting painful. Because, yeah, no. The last one I had hurt. This one doesn't hurt yet. But it's like maybe a half inch from where the last one was. It's crazy. When I got the first one done, they were worried about it because of its location. They're like, that's an odd spot for a cyst to form, and it not be, and for it to be a quote unquote friendly cyst. And so, they wanted to remove it like right away. They kind of rushed into getting approval for the procedure, got it pulled out, ran it through for a bunch of testing, and it came back as nothing. It was just a, what do they call it, a subcutaneous cyst or something, non-cancerous. Ooh, that sun is very bright. Sorry, probably blinded you guys just as much as it did me. Of course, it also made me see just how dirty my windshield is. But yeah, they were surprised because it was like, we don't usually see cysts in that location unless they're cancerous. But mine wasn't. And now I have a second one in the same joint. It's weird. I'm weird. I'm medically weird. I've joked about that, if there's, any rare disease, any rare condition, it's one in every 1 million people, I can guarantee you it's going to hit one of us. It's going to hit me, one of my sisters, or one of our children. Because it has happened time and time and time again. If it's a 1 in 100,000 chance that you're going to have an adverse reaction to a medication, count on it. One of us is going to have that reaction. One of us is going to. It's just the way the odds roll in our family. I mean, shit, my sister's kidney thing was so rare there was not even a prescribed medical treatment for it. They were throwing darts in the dark trying to figure out, how to treat her. Stop and get some coffee for the ride. I'll probably stop somewhere in Walla to get dinner. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you today?
I am doing good.
Awesome. What can I get for you?
I'm gonna get a 24-ounce iced caramelizer.
Sure.
2 extra shots.
2 extra shots.
No whip.
No whip.
And I'm up here for the car behind me.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. I will go take their order and come back to you.
Sure. And this time I'm going to pause you when I give her my phone number. Still tripping me out. I keep looking in the wrong place.
Great. Do you have the Dutch Bros app today?
And we're back. Oh wait, I don't have to do the voiceover thing. It'll be a long drive. You know what, people? We need... I totally did not say anything that made sense just then. Do you know what we need, people? We need a YouTube-friendly radio station. For those of us that record while we drive, to be able to turn the radio on and not have to worry about copyright. Points to ponder. Oh, my hand still hurts. I like when they do that. Get them made inside and they bring them out to your car. That's why this is one of my favorite Dutch Bros. They're very quick here, and they're, you know, they're friendly. They're Johnny on the spot.
Thank you. I was going to say good morning, not good morning.
Well, we can pretend.
Yeah, definitely. We to caramelize this check shots and then we do ice milk, dark chocolate, and eyeliner.
The caramelizer's mine. The rest of the order's the car behind me.
Oh, okay, bet. Here's that straw. We can match your outfit. What are you going to go do right after this?
Oh, look at the doggies back there. I can see them in my rearview mirror.
They're so cute.
I wonder if they're getting their little puppy shakes.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Do you have any pets?
I do.
What kind of pets do you
I have 3 dogs, 2 cats, and 4 chickens.
Oh my goodness! Wait, what are all the names? I'm kind of curious.
The dogs are Arrow, Lizzie, and Lily. The cats are Leo and Lola.
Leo and Lola, so cute.
And then my chickens are Princess,
Aww.
Queen Bitch Feathers.
That's so funny, yeah.
Yeah, my daughter gave her that one.
Yeah.
She's the queen of the roost, and everybody knows it. So yeah,
That's
she's
great.
Queen Bitch Feathers.
That's so
And the other ones never got named.
Oh, real. I used to have a chicken growing up. It was a brown one. I named it chocolate. Another one was white. So I named it vanilla.
Ah, there you go. Now,
girl.
if I still had rabbits, I could tell you all their names.
Oh
But
my god. What kind of rabbits did you have?
Holland Lots.
Oh. I heard that they're very like energetic and then like hop on everything. They bump everything over.
Yep. I started out with the French Lops, the big
Oh my
old
goodness.
18-pounders, and then went
That is so
kept getting smaller. But
Girl, you got like the whole animals, huh? 100%.
that's why I live on a farm.
Yeah. Stay warm. See you. Thank
Bye.
you.
Lexi? Get up.
What are their names? It's funny. Arrow's the only non-L. But we also didn't name him. I can't even remember the name he had when Sam and them adopted him from the shelter. They changed his name to Arrow. But Lily came with her name and Lola came with her name. We named Lizzie. And we named Leo. So yeah, Lily came with a name. Lizzie was a roadside pickup by the shelter, by animal control, and they gave her the name Stoli at the shelter. Obviously they had to name her something because she was a stray. They didn't, strays don't come with names usually. So they named her Stoli, and I'm like, I'm a drug and alcohol counselor. I'm not gonna have a dog named after alcohol. And even if I was, it's not gonna be that. We did have a dog that people thought was named after alcohol because his name, was JD. And everybody thought it stood for Jack Daniels, and it actually stood for Just Dog. Which I don't know. There might be some viewers out there that will hear a dog named Just Dog and go, oh, they were Dead Like Me fans. And if not, yes, we were Dead Like Me fans, and we got JD as a puppy when we were watching that show, and so that's what we named our puppers. And then Leo we got as a baby kitten. In fact, Sam picked him up in the parking lot of a grocery store from somebody giving him away out of the back of a truck. And so he became my barn cat. And he's been called all kinds of things over the years, especially, he got called all kinds of things when he decided he was going to bite me for no reason. So as he was getting sprayed down with a hose and my poor rabbits were getting drenched because he was running back and forth over from the rafter, on the rafters of my barn, from one loft to the other across the 16 feet of barn. And I was chasing him down with the hose and spraying him and cussing him out. And of course, as he's running back and forth and running laps, and I'm spraying him, the water's falling on my rabbits. And so I was drenched. My rabbits were drenched. The cat was drenched. And I called him all kinds of names, and Leo was not one of them. I can guarantee you Leo was not one of the names I called him that night. And then I woke up the next morning and looked at my hand and went, I'm going to head to the hospital. I had a big old ring on my hand and a big old red line going up my arm. I'm like, yep, I'm headed to the hospital. It was crazy. I was like, dang, my own cat. Wasn't even a stray cat that did it. It was my own freaking cat. But because of where he bit me, we had to do x-rays because they wanted to make sure that, he didn't puncture the bone in my hand at all. Because he did go into the knuckle with his canines. I don't know what they're called in cats. Are they canines in cats? I don't know. They're really sharp, tall, the long, pointy ones. One of them went right into my knuckle. So they wanted to make sure that it didn't puncture the bone, or there wasn't a piece of tooth broke off in there or anything, because I couldn't answer that. They asked if he broke any teeth, and I'm like, I have no idea. I go, he's relatively feral, and he still is. He's always lived in the barn. When I had rabbits, he was pretty used to us going in and out of the barn. And he would let us pet him, but he wouldn't let us pick him up. We couldn't hold him. He would nope, it wasn't happening. And so he would come up on the step ladder and stand next to me and wait for me to pet him, and stuff like that. But he was still unpredictable. He had been known to hiss and swat. in mid-pet, we sitting there petting him, all of a sudden he, you know, hiss and then claw you, and it's like, you little jerk face, what the hell? What was that all about? But he had never bit before, and I don't know, the only thing I can figure that night, so we had a storm rolling in, and you could hear some thunder off in the distance, so the only thing I can think is that it got spooked, and it just I just happened to be petting him when it happened. But he didn't just bite, he like bit, and he jumped on me at the same time and wrapped all of his claws around my arm. So I had his mouth around my thumb and into, like, I had teeth in my palm, in my thumb joint, and across the top of my hand. And then I had all 4 claws wrapped around my arm and claws dug in. So I was pretty beat up. And then he just released like it was nothing, you know, like what? Needless to, he never bit again. We still have him. He's still out in the barn. He's gotten more feral since I got rid of the rabbits, though, because now, you know, we're only out there, you know, my husband goes out and feeds and waters him, and, you know, our lawnmower is now out in the barn, so when my husband's mowing the lawn, he has, you know, some human interaction, but he doesn't let us touch him anymore. We try talking to him, and he like hides in a corner and hisses at you, and it's like, but he won't leave the barn either. You know, I had contemplated, you know, trying to figure out how to rehome him to another farm, but I don't know that he would do very well at another farm. So he's just gonna live out his days out in the barn, I guess. But yeah, and it was really weird because even though my insurance was through my employer, and I went into work that next week, and there was an email in my company email letting me know that my patient portal had been updated. And I was like, what? And so, you know, I clicked, you know, I messaged IT, and they're like, yeah, that's legit, that's from us. And I'm like, okay, so it's okay for me to click on the link? And they're like, yeah, go for it. And I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. And I forgot that I had an account open with my employer because I had gotten my eyes checked over at the clinic. It's where I was working. It's a all-in-one. You know, there's OBGYN, there's eyes, there's urgent care. We have our own pharmacy, mental health, dental. It's all one company. And the clinic was right across the street, the eye clinic. So I just went across the street to get my eyes checked. So I forgot I had an account open. But when I went to the emergency room, they sent the report into my portal at my work that I'd been to the emergency room. And I'm like, that's weird. And then like a week later, I get a thing in the mail from L&I, Labor and Industries, asking me to fill out the paperwork to testify that the car accident that I was just in the emergency room for was not work related. I'm like, how did we get from cat bite to car accident? And it took like 6 months back and forth. And I kept responding back. It wasn't a car accident. It was a cat bite. And no, it was not work related. It was a cat bite. And then they'd send me the paperwork. The ER says it was a car accident. And I'm like, I have the report right here from the emergency room. It clearly says cat bite. There was no car accident. it was a good 6 months, like I said, back and forth, round and round. ER, getting paperwork, ER sending paperwork, LNI sending paperwork to me contacting LNI, getting paperwork from the ER again. Just, it was ridiculously stupid. And I'm like, I, to this day, have never been able to figure out how we got from a cat bite to a car accident. From cat to car, I get. That's an easy mistake. The R and the T are like next to each other. But from bite to accident, I mean, like, did they autofill a line, or, you know, I don't know. I was like, it was cat bite. It was my own cat. No, it was not work related. But that was gnarly. I still have the scars from that bite, but I'm like, man, yeah, it was gross. The next morning, it was red and oozy, and it was not fun. The guy in the, you know, it was like, you know, 7:30 in the morning or something, and I'm walking in the emergency room by myself, didn't have a driver, which I'm sure is not common. You know, most of the time when somebody's got to go to the emergency room, they're in some state of condition that requires them to have somebody drive them there. You know, I drove myself there, I walked myself into the emergency room, and did all my paperwork myself, and the doctor comes in and he's like, so why are you here? And I'm like, I held my right hand up in the air, and he's like, oh, yeah, that looks pretty. And I was like, yeah. He goes, when did that happen? I said, last night. I go, like 13 hours ago. And he's like, oh, holy moly. He goes, yeah, let's get some business going on that, because it you know, by his estimation, he would have thought it was at least a full day, if not a day and a half old, to get it as infected as it was. And, you know, he's like, let's get some antibiotics going, let's get that cleaned out, and let's get on it like now. And I'm like, okay, thank you. But I imagine, you know, being a barn cat, he's got, you know, definitely, you know, a lot of different bacterial exposures than my inside cat would, you know, beyond just scratching in the litter box. Yeah, that was pretty gnarly. Car accident? No. Cat bite? It's like, Jesus. Besides that, unfortunately, I already know that if you have an accident of any kind on the job, it's illegal to not report it to LNI. So if it was a work-related accident, I would have already reported it. Even if it was a work-related cat bite, it would have already been reported. Found that out when I wrecked my car. I thought, it's really, I don't know. I felt horrible about it, because, you know, why? And I still feel that. I still feel the same way. Why is the employer being punished for something that was not within their control simply because it was their employee? You know, I was on the job, yes, but the accident was not due to my employer. I was driving my personal vehicle. You know, it wasn't, the cause of the accident had nothing to do with what I was doing for a job, other than, you know, I was driving. You know, and it's like, and they tried to talk me into not filing an LNI claim. They pulled me into the office literally the day after my accident, and, you know, were saying, you know, not to report it, and, you know, and they would pay for repairs and da-da-da-da-da, and I'm like, well, number one, my car's not repairable. My car is totaled. There's no fixing it. And you know, and I was like, and I kind of left it at that point because I didn't know. And then when I got the paperwork from L&I, because the FedEx driver, obviously, FedEx put in their claim, and so I got the paperwork from L&I, and it clearly said right on there that it's illegal to not file an L&I claim if you were involved in an accident while on the job. And so they kept trying, we'll give you a bonus, and we'll do this and we'll do this, just don't report it. And I'm like, I'm not breaking the law. Hopefully, they look at the report and go, okay, yeah, this will come out of whatever expense, we do pay into that fund as employees. But, hopefully they don't get penalized for something that was not within their control. But that was like my first red flag with them. That, second red flag, that I was wanting to get out of that job. I already knew there was some shady shit going on. And I was doing things the legal way, but I just wasn't saying anything to anybody, and ultimately nobody would know anything unless somebody got audited, whether it's me or my employer, or the state does an audit of the business documents, because what they were doing is not paying overtime. And what they would do is put that overtime, what they were supposed to be paying overtime, they were calculating it out and counting it as mileage so that they didn't have to pay taxes on it. Because mileage we get back at tax time. So they don't have to pay taxes on what we get paid for mileage. And so rather than paying us our overtime, they were logging it on our paychecks as mileage, not paying the taxes on it. And then come tax time, we couldn't even claim it. Because we couldn't claim our mileage because supposedly, because they were claiming we were paid already for it. But we weren't paid for our mileage. We were paid for our work. We were paid for our time. And so when I was doing, I would back calculate my stuff, and I kept records of all of my mileage and all of my time cards, and I kept all of that on record, and I back calculated what my mileage should have been, what my pay should have been. And when I came to do my taxes, I submitted all that to the IRS, and I'm like, I'm claiming my freaking mileage. And I just kind of like waited, and figured it would inevitably happen that, either I would get audited and would have to like prove that the mileage I claimed was the mileage I drove, which was not going to be a hard thing to do. They were going to get audited by the IRS because I was claiming mileage that they were saying they were paying for. Or the state of Washington was going to find out what they were doing, which was a violation of their contract with the state of Washington. But I was driving, 2,000 plus miles a month, and I was working, 16-hour days at times. And so to not get paid, we got paid overtime 1 month. And then it was actually their accountant that gave them this brilliant idea and told them it was absolutely legal for them to do. So we got overtime 1 month because an employee came in and he was hired. And the first couple months he came in under his 40 hours a week. And then he worked extra hours one week. And when he got his paycheck and saw that he didn't get paid overtime, he reported it to L&I. Well, of course, the employer was informed by L&I, you are required by law to pay overtime at time and a half. That's the law. You are not an exempted industry. So that next month, we got paid overtime. Might have even been 2 months. It wasn't for very long though. And then bam, here's this new thing that anything you get over 40 hours, we're going to drop down and record it as mileage. So you still get your money. But we were getting our overtime at straight pay, not at overtime pay, straight pay, logged as mileage. And their reasoning was, well, they're not taking taxes out of it, so that that equals out and that balances. And I'm like, the state pays 60 cents a mile on your taxes. Got a $17,000 write-off one year just on mileage. You think that you're making that $17,000 up by me not having to pay my taxes on my wages? No. And mind you, it was supposed to be in addition to. You're supposed to get your rate of pay, your overtime, and mileage at the end of the year when you file your taxes. Not in lieu of. And so yeah, sneaky shady shit. So red flags were already up, and then like I said, when I wrecked my car and they were trying to buy my way out of not filing an L&I claim. We'll pay to fix your car. When it was determined that my car was completely totaled and there was no fixing it, then it was like, oh well, we can give you a bonus, we can give you a raise, and it was just total manipulation, trying to get me to agree to not file an L&I claim, which didn't work. I filed the claim, and it ended up not really going against them at all, which I was happy for. But literally a week after my accident, with 2 cracked ribs, they expected me back on the road driving and pulling 16-hour days again with 2 cracked ribs. I was still bruised to all get out, from the seatbelt, from the airbag. And not only did they expect me to be back driving a week after my wreck, but doing the very same visit that I wrecked on, which would have me going right by my accident site, where I legit should have lost my life. But a week later, we expected you to be okay going right back by there again. It's okay. And that was in 2015, and I still, driving past that section, I feel it. When I'm coming up on it, my gut starts to cramp up. I get gurgly. I'm like, it took me probably 2 years before I could even go through there without having to pull over and vomit. And I can at least get through there without doing that, but my stomach starts hurting. I get really nauseous. And it's been, 7 years since my wreck. But a week later, you should be fine. I am like, it was ridiculous. The first time I got in my car and tried to drive after my wreck, I couldn't even get out of my driveway. I just sat in my car with the car running, and I was white knuckled on the steering wheel, and I couldn't move. I was scared to death. But here's my employers. Oh, you're fine. that was when I quit my job. That was when I quit that job. I was like, They clearly have no value for me whatsoever. It's all about making money. It's all about the bottom dollar. And, who cares what their employees are going through. Just get your butt back to work and, make us money. But, when another coworker was in an accident, and it happened to be the daughter-in-law, and granted, her accident was a bit more significant than mine. She was able to take 4 months off of work. Paid time off. And she's joking. She hit a moose at night at highway speed. She was probably speeding. Everybody does on that stretch of the highway anyway, but she had a lead foot. So she was probably doing at least 75, if not 80. Hit the moose, and the moose flew up over the hood, smashed into the windshield, took off part of her roof, and in the process, head-butted her. So, and the moose ended up kind of laying partially in the front seat and partially in the back seat of her car. But yeah, not until after his head slammed into hers. Broke her nose, cheekbones, so she had to do some reconstructive rhinoplasty and stuff, but she was joking about it. Well, I finally get my new nose, but, and then she was out of the hospital and she was fine. She was fine to go back to work. She was driving to and from work. She just wasn't transporting kids at that point. And I'm like, but, me, get your butt back in there and not only go back to driving, but go back to driving the exact same road that you just almost died on. No brakes needed, right? So that was kind of another, nail in that coffin that I was just like, you know what? And by that point, I was absolutely looking for another job. I wasn't wanting to be, I wasn't wanting to go back into the substance use field because I'd already let my license go, and I'd already decided long before that I wasn't going to get back into it. Asswipe. And I spent a year trying to find a job outside that field, and it got to the point where, we weren't going to be able to pay our mortgage. So it was like, I've got to go back to work. I have no choice in the matter. And so I did. Oh, I take that back. When I left that job, it was to go back into the field. It was when I went to work for the Suboxone clinic. Went to work there. But yeah, I had to reinstate my license. It cost me a fortune. Which if I ever decide to go back into the field, I'm going to have to do that all over again because my license is now a year expired. And in order to renew it, it could be 10 years from now, and I decide to renew it, I have to pay all 10 years renewal fees. And I have to do all 10 years continuing education classes before I can renew. So, I have to make a decision relatively quick whether or not I'm gonna reactivate it, because if it gets too many years, there's no way I'm gonna do it because it's gonna be too much money. And a substance use counselor in this state, 35 a year, maybe, tops. And that's with you being, you know, in that position, being with that company for years and years and years and getting promotion after promotion. You know, at $250 a year, you know, that's $2,500 just for the license, plus the 40 CEUs every year that's out of pocket, you know. So it would cost me probably $5,000 to $8,000 if it, you know, in 10 years to renew my license. So yeah, I need to make the decision sooner rather than later. Either I'm going to move completely on from that career, or pay to reinstate my license and figure out how to do it on a smaller capacity with the disability. Because I don't even know that I could do that job with the disability, to be honest. Because I want to work for myself, which is going to require me to be able to do a lot of driving, and that's one of the things that I'm not supposed to be doing a lot of. And one of the things that I will not be able to do at all if I end up having surgery. So, I don't know. Things to think about. I hadn't even really thought about that until Molly mentioned it today. I was like, oh, yeah. That's funny what a year does. A year ago, that was my plan. Well, 2 years ago, because I've been out of work for a year and a half. So yeah, she goes, like a year before you quit your job. Yeah, so about 2.5 years ago, that was my plan. I was taking business classes to get my degree so that I could walk into a bank and have a business degree as well as substance use degrees and all the experience of working in the substance use field to go in and apply for a business loan. Contact the school and find out what it's going to cost for me to finish my degree, because I'm only like 3 classes short of finishing the AA in business, and then I can transfer to WGU, but it's all going to be out of pocket. Business doing the journals and stuff. That would be great. Sam's working on the digital artwork for our YouTube channel. Maybe I should just open the channel and start moving some videos over. A content channel. It would be more like process videos, like filming, like Sam films, like when she's cross-stitching stuff. She'll turn her camera on and do, not cross-stitch, crochets. When she crochets stuff, she'll turn her camera on and record it in fast motion. So those kind of process videos, and then, I've got videos of like flip throughs of journals that I've completed. final craft room tour, you'll see, you see that I've got 3 shelves, 3 cubbies full of journals that, I could decorate and do videos of. I can even do process videos of the decorating part. And eventually all those, anything we put on that channel, ideally, would go up for sale. I just need to dig back into YouTube's terms of service. Ooh, there's a fire somewhere. That's not just fog. That's smoke. I can smell it. Well, this isn't going to be too bad. It's almost 6. Sam gets off at 8. So I don't have to spend too much time at the house by myself. Back down to 60. Watch, this guy's gonna fly past me. Blinker. And I'm doing 65, mind you. Still doing 70. Happens on this road all the time now. Ooh. What do I do for dinner? Ugh, my ankles hurt. I haven't even taken a drink of my coffee yet. What the hell? A whole bunch of cars coming up behind me. Pass. Let's just pass. Because we're speeding. Still doing 70. Here comes another car. Still doing 70. I'm not sure that guy knew how to use a blinker. It's like blink on, blink off, blink, blink. Almost looks like he's got a short because even though he's driving straight, his right light is blinking. You guys probably can't see that, he's too far away. The sunset behind me looks gorge. Sorry. A little tiny bit of snow up there on the mountain. forgot to research. Last time I drove up here, I said I was going to research what serial killers were here, and I forgot all about it. I forgot it. I need to take you guys out seeing more stuff. The weather's been such crud here. And now it's getting cold. We went from super hot to super cold, it seems, overnight. So stuff's freezing over. In fact, when Molly got to my house this morning, she got there at 10 and there was still ice on my grass. I'm like, brr. That road there is a back way. When we went to the drive-in theater as a Volkswagen Club, that's where we came out. Because the drive-ins in Milton Free Water down in Oregon, just across the border. And back there, we've already passed the campground that we stayed at. So we came through the back roads of Walla, and that's where we came out, hit the highway, and then went back to the campsite. That was fun. I miss those days. I miss hanging out with the V-Dub Club and all the people and the camaraderie. You know, even though it was car stuff. I don't care about sitting around, you know, talking about car. I'm like, whatever. But you know, when we would do like the campouts and stuff, the spouses and the kids always came along, so it was more like, you know, a family thing rather than a car guru thing. If you know, yeah, we don't do that much anymore. Because we're here and it still has some semblance of daylight, I'm gonna at least take you out and at least do a drive by at the penitentiary. Why not? Through 1/3 of the triple nipple. Round a big circle. Round a big circle. Past my favorite coffee shop. I still have coffee I haven't drank yet, so. Pretty sure I can remember how to get there. Turn at the bridge. totally missed the turn. I'm not from here. I totally missed the turn. That's okay. As long as nobody saw me, right? At least there's speed limit signs out here. I know how fast I'm going, or how fast I'm supposed to be going. In all fairness, it was kind of a last minute. Oh shit, right here. Oh shoot, right here, right here. That's where I'm supposed to turn, right here. Oops. So, off to the left is Walla State Penitentiary. Boop. There's the pin. Even says so on the grass. So yeah, I mean it's fairly big for, you know, where we are. I gotta find somewhere up here to turn around. It always cracks me up too because there's a sign somewhere that says do not pick up hitchhikers. I'm like, duh. Hopefully this wasn't a mistake because I have no idea where I'm going to get to turn around. Oh, I could have go right there. Here. Pass with care. I don't want to pass. I want to turn around. Well, look at that sunset though. Walla compost facility has moved. So this used to be a compost facility. There's the back side of the prison. Ramble strip. Take you guys on a little mini tour. Why not? Yeah, no stopping or standing. So if you stop or you stand, they're going to think you're a prisoner or that you're waiting for one. Where is the sign? I didn't see it. There used to be a sign that said not to pick up hitchhikers within like X number of miles or whatever. And I was like, huh, yeah, that's because, you know, they might be a prisoner. Might have been further back on the road. It's hard to say. Oh, those are real deer. Oh my gosh. Hold up. There's nobody behind me. I looked. Look, guys. At first I thought they were statues, and then they started moving. And then I popped you out of my holder. Sorry, that was probably really, really, really loud. I was trying to adjust my holder and I popped my phone out. That was cool. There was a deer crossing sign back there, but I wasn't expecting to see like an entire herd of deer. It even surprised me. I'm glad there was nobody behind me so that I could hit reverse and back up. It's kind of nice. How many prisoners get to do that? Get to look out their window and see, wild deer just wandering around eating grass right outside your window. Sorry, I was having flashbacks to missing this turn. Oh my goodness. Walla Museum, which you can see some stuff from the roadside, but you have to pay to get in to see like a lot of the good stuff. Oh, my back. These bumps are killing me. She's driven around and seen like where the Halloween decorations and stuff are. That might be fun to do tonight. Like take a night tour of all, I'll have to ask her when she gets off work. Have yet to be to this Mexican restaurant right here because they're always packed. Always. Like no parking in the parking lot, packed. Marcus Whitman is this nice tall building right here on the right, just past these trees. This is a hotel, which I had planned to do the divorce party in, but I didn't expect the divorce to be finalized in less than 6 months, so I was not really financially prepared to do it quite this early. So that's a conversation I need to have. Are we still gonna do a divorce party? They want wanted to get married there at the Marcus Whitman, and holy mo, we looked at the price to like rent it as a venue. Yeah, no. And it did make sense. Most of the people that were coming to the wedding were coming from the opposite direction, so they would have to drive, you know, an extra hour and a half to get to the wedding venue. Whereas, you know, having it at our place, not only was it cheaper, but it made sense because the siblings were already going to be at our house. My sister was coming up from California, and my nieces were coming up from California. Well, they landed and drove over from Seattle, so they would hit my place first. Mother-in-law coming up from Moses Lake. It's, you know, so it just made more sense logistically, but it definitely made more sense financially to just do it at our house. But would have been nice. I wish it was a different time of year. Would have been less unpredictable. Doing an outdoor wedding in October in Washington was a gamble, and we lost because it rained like crazy, and the wedding was supposed to start at 1 o'clock, and at 12:45 it was still pouring. And so we didn't even have our tent set up yet. People were starting to arrive. Yeah, it was it was interesting. And everybody kept saying, rain on your wedding day is supposed to be good luck. Rain on the wedding day is good luck. Apparently not. Apparently not. Marriage only lasted 4.5 years, so didn't mean good luck for them. It's funny because I walk out of my house and there's this like stranger walking in my driveway, and I walked out the door and I said something about the rain, and here this stranger says, well, it's supposed to be good luck, and I'm like, who are you? And it turned out it was my niece's +1, so it was her good friend who she wanted as a boyfriend at the time, but that came up from California. But you know, I was inside, and so getting ready, so I hadn't met everybody that came up. You know, I was like, who are you? It was pretty funny. Like, strangers, you know, jerk face. There's not enough room on this road for 2 cars. That's why I'm stopped, you jerk. Call you something else. Oh, you know what? I forgot about getting something to eat. I know she ain't got no food. She's got snacks. But no dinners. That's alright. That is alright. I don't know how much time she's had driving around town, you know, other than just driving to and from work. So hopefully she knows where some good Halloween decorations are. I think that would be fun after it gets a little darker. Everybody's got their decorations all up, and the ghosts are flying, and the witches are flying, and everything's lit up. Okay, so we're gonna go this way. Well, the good thing about continuously getting lost in Walla Walla is I'm getting to know my way around town. I'm like, oh yeah, I know where I'm at now. Because usually my husband does all the driving, so I'm just the passenger, and I don't really pay attention to where we're going. We just get where we're going and call it good. But me having to do a lot of the driving lately, it's like, oh, okay, I know where I'm at. Oh, look, there's more decorations. More an hour. Oh, they got a big spider. And I did bring my selfie stick with me, just in case. That was more about if she wanted to film while we were at her house, I wouldn't have to hold my phone. But trick or treats down here. It's pretty dark. Like, it's not really Halloween inviting. Since there's somebody behind me, I should turn my blinker on. I know what street I'm trying to get to, which is Isaac's. I just am not sure how to get to it from where I am currently. Street, right? Looks like a major street. It's pretty big, or maybe not. Stoplight up there, so that was at least one of the things I was hoping to see was a street with stoplights on it. I don't like how narrow this is. Bouncies are juggling up my belly. Making air bubbles in my tummy. Oh look, Isaac's. Now you gotta figure out if I go left or right. Well, I'm gonna go right. And then if I have to turn around, I have to turn around, right? And I'm guessing I'm gonna have to turn around because this looks like it's going more residential. Looking for the fast food places. Looks like a charger in front of me. Division. there's the secondhand store. Yeehaw Aloha. They have 2 locations. Hopefully one of them is open tomorrow. No, I'm in the right place. I went the right way. Ooh, back relief. Walk-ins welcome. Mondays 10 to 1. I'll be like, hi, I'm new in town. Help me. Let's see, there's a Dutch Bros. Can't see that far. Del Taco. No Del Taco. Burger King. Not Burger King, or do I want McDonald's? Dollar Tree. Baskin Robbins. Rite Aid. Albertsons. I know where I'm at. Guess I'm going to McDonald's. Now that I've driven all the way across town for dinner. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, North, whenever you're ready.
Can I get a number 5?
Of course.
Actually, can I just get the nuggets and the fries?
Of course.
Sorry, I'm like, I already have 2 drinks in here. I don't need a third one.
Alrighty. Would you like any sauce?
Can I do sweet and sour and then some extra of the spicy jam stuff?
Of course. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Alrighty. I'll have a total on the first window. Thank you.
Thank you. Like, I need a Pepsi, I got a coffee. I don't need another drink. Yeah, I still have half of my Dutch Bros. I still probably have another quarter of my Pepsi. Oh, cute. It looks like they're having a like a decoration contest in there. I can see like kitchen department, and then on purple paper, and then next to it is orange with a skeleton, but I can't read the sign, it's too far away. But it looks like they're having like a little decoration contest in there. It's cute. I do miss that about where I worked, you know, the Christmas, doing the Christmas decorations. I have my snowflake makers. I'm like, I found those while I was cleaning today, and I'm like, do I really need to keep those, or should I just donate them to my old work?
How's your night going?
It's a going.
I feel that one for sure.
I drove in from the Tri-Cities, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I still have to go get dinner. All right.
It is.
I'm like, I know I need Isaac's. I just got to figure out how to get there from where I'm at. And then I'm like, ooh, a stoplight. Isaac's. Yay. I'm like, left, right? Oh, we'll go right. I guess that's the benefit of getting lost in Walla Walla is I'm getting to know my way around Walla Walla.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, have a wonderful night.
You as well? Oh, holy moly, dobby, dobby. My nose is itching like crazy. I stirred up a lot of dust in that last push cleaning my craft room. At the last little bit when I was cleaning the table, I was like, I inhaled some dust and I was like coughing and my nose started sneezing. It's like, oh, I gotta get this calmed down so I can record this video. That was a loud car. Water drop. If you have not tried the sweet and spicy jam that they have here at McDonald's, I recommend it. It's really yummy. It's not real spicy, it just has a tiny little kick to it. But it's good on fries and it's good on nuggets. Thank you. You too. As marmalade on both. Wind her up. Okay, so Isaac's to Clinton to Howard. Isaac's to Clinton to Howard. Yeah, I tried the sweet and spicy stuff and it was like, ooh. I'm all the way on the other side of Walla Walla. If I go to the right here, it drops me straight onto the highway. Make a left and take you out of town. The pet store that David used to work at is down there. John Fabrics is down there. To the left is a whole bunch of stuff I don't know. Hopefully I'm going to be able to see Clinton from, because I don't think it was at a light. might have been. Oh, it was at the agility place. Dutch Bros. Back pain relief. Aloha. I hope they're open tomorrow. I haven't been there in a long time. Last couple of times I've been up here, they've been closed. That's not fair. Make a special trip up here and they're closed. I mean, I remember there being a light at Isaac's, but Madison. Was it a four-way stop? I can't remember. It was, because here's Clinton. On some fries while I'm driving. Oh, I bet that house is beautiful in the daylight. I love these old buildings. It's kind of my favorite part about Walla Walla, other than my daughter and my granddaughter. I love coming and looking at the buildings. I'd love to take a tour of some of the old churches. Tree branch. Your turn to scoot over, dude. I turned on Clinton off of Alder. I go this way. This is where I turned at the agility place. So this is Howard. Kind of proud of me. I did it without navigation, without getting lost, and in the dark. Yay me. It's gonna be cold by the time I get there, but thank God she has a microwave and it's on the McDonald's. Can't make it taste worse. It's only 6:30. I have another hour and 45 minutes before she gets home. That beautiful stained glass on the church. It's funny because it almost seems like some people are already decorated for Christmas rather than Halloween. Like purple lights obviously are Halloween, but it's like I'm seeing a lot of red and green and yeah. Doing this part at night could be tricky. like, I know there's a car back there. Shush. Shush. Alrighty, I'm here. So, if you made it this far, leave a comment below. Tell me something you did today for your self-care. I'll put you in a drawing for something. I don't know what yet, but I'll put your name in it for a drawing. So leave a comment below. Hit that like button on your way out, and I will catch up with you later. Bye.